Alright, I am doing a video on a raised bed, and raised bed gardening is a great way to grow your own vegetables, and my children love to eat fresh fruits and veggies. It's expensive because we go to the farmer's market, we go to Whole Foods. I buy a whole lot of bananas, apples, and oranges, and although I'm not growing them, I also grow a lot of I eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, and it gets expensive. So I decided to grow some of my own vegetables, and actually some fruit too. I actually have some cantaloupe back there. I'm going to talk about the process. I gathered a lot of information myself, and I found that I had to kind of pick from several different sources to get everything I needed to make this work for me. So I'm going to start with the very foundation. I went to Lowe's and I bought some untreated wood. I had them cut one of them in half, and I brought that home. I also bought some organic gardening soil at Lowe's. I bought some nails, and I already had a hammer. There's at the very bottom of this bed, I have recycled, there's this material that I got from the gardening area. It's supposed to suffocate weeds, and you're supposed to like cut a hole in it and let your plants grow through that. And it's a recycled material, no chemicals. I put that's the lining, the bottom lining for my raised bed. I got the wood home. I took nails. I put 3 nails with a hammer, because I don't have an electronic drill, and I put 3 nails on each corner, and I put the wood on the outside, and the long beams on the inside. I bought I think about 8 or 9 bags of organic soil from Lowe's. And then I went to, there's a place here called Earth First. I'm on the East Coast, by the way. I'm not in California. I know a lot of the videos online are of people who are gardening on the West Coast. I am on the East Coast, mid-East Coast. So we definitely have snow in the winter. Our summers are hot and a little humid, and traditional 4 seasons, okay? So I went to a place here called Earth First, and they let me take a container and fill it up as much as I wanted of compost and dirt, and they charged me like $2, which is crazy. I didn't know where to get dirt from. I was trying to get dirt as cheap as possible because I knew I needed to fill this bed. And even though I filled this bed fairly high, the dirt has settled, and it's like halfway full now. But I had that dirt, the compost and dirt from Earth First, and it was pennies, and I feel like I really got my money's worth. I did do the organic gardening soil. I got it on sale. They were about $4 to $5 a bag for the soil. I was trying to do this as cheap as possible so that, cut down on cost. Establishing the bed is, I think, the largest investment you'll make. Once the bed is established, then you can use that soil over and over again. With each season, you just have to add the minerals back into the soil so that your soil is fertile to grow your fruits and veggies. So I got gardening soil, I got compost, and I got dirt. That's basically the mud in my bed. I also had 3 bags of leaves that I collected 3 years ago, and they were basically in the yard, and they were rotting so that I could use them in my garden. So 3 years later, I put them inside this bed too. I put the leaves at the very bottom, and then I poured the soil on top with peat moss as well, and I mixed the dirt up and the leaves up as much as possible, trying to keep most of the leaves concentrated at the bottom. And then I went to, we have an organic gardening store here, and I bought some green sand, and azomite, which is rock dust. This is green sand, and then I bought the azomite, which is rock dust, and I put that in here too, and I kind of made it like a lasagna. I took and I put the leaves down, and then the dirt and the compost and the peat moss, and I sprinkled the azomite rock dust and the green sand, and then I mixed it all together. Okay, I mixed it, and it took a while to mix it all, but I mixed it all together so that it would, you know, be evenly mixed together. Then I let it sit and settle. Then I planted my plants, and I bought the tomato and the pepper plant. They were already started, as well as sweet potato plants are in the middle. I started the pepper plants. I have some cantaloupe, I have onions, and I have some tomato plants, and spinach. I'm not sure how well my spinach will do because it's mid-June and it's getting hot, so it may or may not survive. I hope it does because I love spinach. My son is vegetarian, and spinach is really important in our home. So so here it is, my raised bed. And get your dirt. Make sure you get organic dirt. Make sure you know where your dirt's coming from. The benefits of a raised bed, I don't feel like I'll have as much of a problem with pests. I know I'm going to still have bugs get in my bed. I mean, I can see them crawling along the wall there. But I really feel like it's not going to be as bad. And as far as rabbits, I'm right next to a large forest here. I'm sure I'm not going to have as much of a problem with animals coming over here trying to eat my veggies. You know, I'm still going to have a problem, but not as bad as if I planted it in the ground. And another benefit, I know exactly what's in my soil. I know what I put in my soil. I know how much of it I put in my soil, and what I know my soil is rich, and it's very fertile, and it can handle the plants because it's highly nutritious. And I know when my vegetables spring up, they're going to be highly nutritious. They're going to be organic, and I'm going to feel really good about feeding this to my children from this garden. So I love the idea of raised beds. I only have one for now. Eventually I would like to get several more. There's plenty of room out here, and I have several friends who are also growing their own vegetables. I think it's a great way to take charge of your eating and your children. You know, what my children eat, I like to know what goes into their food. So I'm growing it myself, and I feel really good about it. I can't wait to get them out here. I do have a couple of fruit vegetables out here, fruit plants, sorry, out here. I have cantaloupe, and I want to eventually get some more. I'm just going to test out the cantaloupe. I'm not all that familiar with growing cantaloupe, so I just want to see how it does. So far they're looking good, and they seem like they're doing just fine, and they're responding really well to this dirt, and they're responding well to the season. So it's about 89 degrees out here today. It's kind of getting hot. We'll see how this goes. We're mid-June. I kind of started a little bit late for my raised bed, but I'd started most of my plants on my own, and they were outside anyway. I just hadn't put them in the soil yet, so we'll see how it does. I think they'll do fine, but you do want to try to start as early as if you're going to start from seed. You want to start around, I guess, March and April, if possible, to do it inside, and then put them in the ground in May. We had some really weird weather here. It got really cold kind of late in the spring, so I think I did all right. We had a couple of frosts late, I think even as soon as May. So we'll see how this goes. I'll keep you guys posted, and this is Blackberry Natural signing out.